ओम ज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णकृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामीति नाम्नि। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, Hare Krishna. We have discussed how Swayambhu Manu, he gave very good counseling, the non-violent communication. We have seen how he tried to help him different aspects. And this is actually the most important way of communicating. We should not hurt a person. We should, what we have seen that he separated the person from the problem.
Which is the most important thing to do. Separate the person from the problem. And second thing, what he did, he told him what is his identity. That, oh, you are a, oh, Dhruva, you are not supposed to do this. We are born in a special family. Not only that, you could get the Supreme Lord, no? Darshan of Supreme Lord, which is very special. Not anybody can get it. And so in that way, you are very special. How can you behave in this particular way? So in that way, what he gave him his identity. And then next thing what he did is, then he started giving the philosophical aspect. This is also very important. He just trying to help him to get proper philosophical understanding. So he gave him the proper philosophical understanding. Now it is okay. So we have seen that philosophical aspect also last session, how Atma Gyan is very important. You are trying to, even Arjuna is also given Atma Gyan, and which helps us to overcome these problems. Arjuna was given the same thing. See, very interesting. If you are having a problem, it is they work on the level of consciousness. It's not that, okay, Arjuna, you have a problem. Maybe you have not practiced properly. Work very hard and no, you should have your practice sessions very nicely. No, Arjuna is Sabyasachi. He is a very good practitioner. He is so expert that he can do archery with both arms with same efficiency. He is very good in practice. Maybe you should work on your motivations and all. So that also Arjuna is actually not very less person. But what is he lacking? He lacked Atma Gyan. That is the cause of all troubles. So please understand this very important point. Not that people lack motivation for activity or they don't have the strength for activity or they are not efficient. Why they end up in crisis then? Because they don't have Atmagyan. They don't they identify themselves with the body and mind. That is why we end up in problems. Even for us also it's the same thing. Not that, oh, maybe I did not put more effort in my studies or academics or in my endeavor for business or anything or in my career. No, it's not. That is not actually the real cause of the problem. Or maybe I lacked confidence and all. No, what we lack is this knowledge. Arjuna lost his confidence. Of course, that is there. But Krishna did not give him, okay, come on, Arjuna, you can make it, you can do it. You just have to focus on your goal and all. Krishna did not tell such things. He gave Atmagyan. Because the crisis is because of lack of Atmagyan only. As long as I identify with the body and mind, all the problems are because of this. Even if you go to Ayurveda or if you go to Vedic psychology, Vedic psychology or Vedic philosophy or Vedic medicine like Ayurveda, initially they cure a person, they give him a lifestyle so that he don't become sick. But ultimately they tell the reason is uh, because you are identifying with the body. So that is the reason they give. So this is the main reason for anybody's problems. So Dhruva Maharaj was given again this Atmagyan. Dhruva, come on, you are not this body, spirit, soul. And then it worked. So Dhruva could understand and he could give up his anger. He said, and then second important section, what he told is about karma, if you remember. He said, oh, what is the reason of anybody's suffering? Is it the Supreme Lord because he is the cause of all causes? Is it the karma? Is the metal nature? Is the fate? Or the fifth one is the desire? So ultimately he says, so it's the desire of living entity. What can be done? So he very systematically he brought him to this understanding. So he just did not speak some soul knowledge and left. He also tried to give him the proper cause of his brother's death also. He empathized with it. Then he also said, but Dhruva, maybe it should be his karma, right? He died because of his karma. So that's how it worked. And now we'll see how Dhruva Maharaj is going back home back to God because it's a success story which is given in Bhagavatam. Ultimately, Dhruva, with all in the childhood, he went into some humiliating situation. He he went to the forest. He achieved the Supreme Lord, came back, became a successful king. Again, there was crisis in his life where he lost his brother. He has to fight, and then again he got guidance from his grandfather Swayambhu Manu. And now, after that, again he goes back to the forest. He don't continue staying it. So this is also a very important aspect that we cannot continue staying in our position and say, okay, now I am fine, everything is good. No, we have to leave the place in search for higher realization, higher knowledge. So this is very, very important aspect. We cannot just continue like this and even say, okay, everything is fine, I'll stay. We can stay at home. Sthane sthita sthitigatam tanuvan manobhir. But what is important is we have to change the activity what we are doing, which is very important. We cannot continue doing the same activity and say we'll get self-realization. No, after some time, we are not interested in any of these material things. Only we have rendered so much service to our family. Now, exclusive service to Krishna only. That's all. No service to family anymore after certain age. He says, okay, enough is enough. Now I just have to serve. Okay, now we say I have family, children, now they are very young. But we should have that aspiration one day. So then when the certain age comes, then we can do it. Otherwise, it is not possible. Either do it or aspire to do it. That okay, I want to get rid of these things. No more family business. Very important. Otherwise, it won't happen. Like suddenly, okay, after one age, I will do it. We should not, if we are not preparing, we cannot do it. We have to prepare. This is enough, enough, enough. I don't want all these things. I want only Krishna. That should be very, very strong. That should be a burning fire in us, which will help us. So here, that's how Dhruva is prepared. That's why he's able to go. Maitreya, the great says Maitreya, the mighty the Dhruva Maharaj's anger subsided and he completely ceased killing Yakshas. When Kuvera, the most blessed master of the treasury, learned this news, he appeared before Dhruva. While being worshipped by Yakshas, Kinnaras, Charanas, he spoke to Dhruva Maharaj, who stood before him with folded hands. Now, Kuvera is very pleased with Dhruva's behavior. And even though he killed Yakshas, And Kuvera also understands, okay, not a problem. All these extras went to Satyaloka. In that way, benefited. But and after that, he controlled himself and he is stopped killing. So that Kuvera now becomes very pleased. He says that the master of the treasury, Kuvera said, "Oh, sinless son of Kshatriya, I am very glad to know that under the instructions of your grandfather, you have given up your enmity. Although it is very difficult to avoid, I am very pleased with you." So, is this is possible only for a devotee. Non-devotees cannot do it. It's very difficult to give up enmity. What? Why? Because they are not envious. They can see the connection, and Dhruva Maharaj got proper reasons also. The reasons given by Swayambhu Manu. Actually, you have not killed the Yakshas, nor have they killed your brother. For the ultimate cause of generation and inheritance is eternal time, feature of the Supreme Lord. Now, Dhruva may feel guilty. So Kuvera said, no, I also understand. It's not you. It's only the time factor. He's also just putting the reason behind all these things is time only. So in that way, he made Dhruva not feel very guilty. Don't worry. I know it's time factor. Maybe that is the time for them to die. And even for your brother also, it's a time factor that he has to leave the body. Prabhupada is telling when the master of treasury addressed him as sinless, Dhruva Maharaj considered himself responsible for killing so many yakshas. Might have thought himself otherwise. So Kuver, however, assured him that factually he has not killed any of the yakshas, therefore he was not at all sinful. So because he made Dhruva Maharaj, I'm sorry, we have some issues with the internet. So Dhruva Maharaj may think, how can you call me sinless? I did already so much. I killed. And Akshay said, no, 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 no. It's not you. It's just a time factor, Supreme Lord. And he says, he did his duty as a king, as it is ordered by the laws of nature. Not should you think that your brother was killed by the Akshas. He died or was killed in due course of time by the laws of nature. So eternal time. So this is like very good thing, time factor. Nobody will get offended. One of the features of the Lord is ultimately responsible for annihilation generation. You are not responsible for the actions. So here, whoever is trying to give that philosophical aspect, and then he says that misidentification of oneself and others are as I and you on the basis of bodily concept of life is product of ignorance. This bodily concept is the cause of repeated birth and death, and it makes us go on continuously in material existence. And more we identify, more we are painful. And I'm sorry, actually. Sorry, sorry. So people, they don't understand only that this is a very dangerous situation where this video shorts and all, it's complete tamoguna. They make that videos and they are continuously posting it. People who are watching are also in complete ignorance. This is to be understood. This is such a deep bodily concept of life, and people want to impress for, and then they are impressing others, and not only that, they are doing some stupid activities. That is the most unfortunate situation. They try to make prank of others, do some stupid activity and try to take a video of it, and all these nonsense activities. Nothing is actually any useful. Some dance or some song or some so many things, no, there is nothing in that. And people who are watching is also, that is complete ignorance. They want to forget reality. That's why they get immersed in all these videos and all. This is to be understood. Why we people are getting so much into these things? Because they don't want to face reality, or they like this virtual reality and this type of happiness where there is, we can forget ourselves. When we are watching a movie or when we are immersed in these things, we forget ourselves. That means we are forgetting reality. That means that is more ignorance. Already when we are normal only, we identify ourselves with body and mind, and when we start watching all these things, even we get into more deeper ignorance. So andatama pravishyanti, when Ishopanishad says that uh, if you are ignorant, you go to hell, and if you have knowledge, you go to deeper hell, deeper hell. So people, with the help of their YouTube and all, they're trying to get knowledge, but they're ending up with all the shorts and all. They're thinking I'm getting more knowledge, but they're ending up in more deeper hells like that. So the concept of I and mine, aham, tam, as separate from each other is due to our forgetfulness of our eternal relations with the Supreme Personality of God. Krishna is the center point of all, for all of us are his part and parcels. So all our bodily parts should be engaged in the service of the body. So real knowledge is that hand is hand, leg is leg, body is, but at all together they are one. So this is the conception of independent existence, therefore like a dream. They are separately existing. My dear Dhruva, come forward. May the Lord always grace you with good fortune. Supreme Lord, who is beyond our sensory perception, super soul, and thus all entities are one without distinction. Being therefore to render service unto the transcendental Lord, who is ultimate shelter of living entities. So he is glorifying the Supreme Lord. And Bhajasva Bhajaniyangrim Abhavaya Bhavachidam Yuktam Vihantam Saptaya Gunamaya Mayaya. Engage yourself engage yourself fully therefore in the devotional service of Lord, for only He can deliver us from this entanglement of material existence. Although the Lord is attached to his material potency, he is aloof from her activities. Everything in this material world is happening by the inconceivable potency of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So even Kubera is also telling the same principle. Actually, Dhruva also knows it. So what happens now? We sometimes get carried away with certain things. So if we are reminded again, then we say, yes, yes, and Dhruva, even demigods also, they understand that we are entangled, but somehow we are interested in material enjoyment. We are not able to come out of it. This fellow Dhruva, he could make it out. We are not able to make. See, even now also, for us also, we can also tell, na, if somebody comes and asks any of us, he says, Proji, so much problem, Babre, material problem, family life problem, finance problem, what should we do? Then we also say, yeah, what can be done? We are all servants of Krishna. We should chant Hare Krishna. We can come. Even though we may not be of that high standard, but still we can tell the instructions, and because we are just repeating. So Kuvera also understands this point, and he is telling the same thing to Dhruva. Dhruva may be more advanced also, possible. In continuation of the previous verse, it is especially mentioned here that Dhruva Maharaj should engage himself in devotional service. Devotional service cannot be rendered by impersonal to the impersonal Brahman. Vajasva means engage yourself in devotional service. There must be a servant, service, and serve. So there is no need to serve the demigods who are just like hands and legs of the Supreme Lord. So even Kuvera is telling you serve Supreme Lord. He's not telling us. So no one but the Supreme Lord can help the living entities be delivered from the entanglement of material nature. So material nature is not different from the Lord. So the Lord is aloof from this, but when the same living entity engage in devotional service, the Lord becomes attached to his service. So this is this situation called Yuktam. For devotees, the Lord is present even in material energy. We discussed yesterday also this, why Abrahamic religions have problem with the bhakti is because of this. They don't accept that the Supreme Lord can come into the material nature. This is the inconceivable potency of Lord. Material energy acts in three modes. But Lord, He can come. Those who are not devotees becomes involved in such activities, whereas devotees who are doubted with the Supreme Personality God free from such actions and reactions. My dear Dhruva Maharaj, son of Maharaj Uttanapada, we have heard that you are constantly engaged in transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord, who is known for his lotus navel. You are therefore worthy to take all benedictions from us. Please therefore ask without hesitation. So now he's telling, oh, you are the devotee of the Supreme Lord. So all our demigods are at your service. We want to do some service to you. One time, Akbar was going in a forest. He meets a sadhu. He says, ask something for me. Sadhu says, I don't need. Akbar says, no, 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 no. I want to give you something. I am a king. And if I give you, I'll be very pleased. Please, please, please. Then I said, please come to my palace. He comes to the palace and Akbar says, give me some time. And he goes and he performs his namaz, where he's asking, my dear Lord, give me strength, give me nice, more wealth and more soldiers and all these things he's asking. And then the sadhu, he starts walking out. Akbar says, Arey, why, what are you walking out? You're supposed to ask me something. The sadhu says, Arey, I kept a rule in my life that I don't ask beggars. And I saw you, you are also a beggar only. You are also asking somebody. You are a poor person. How can I ask? It is against my rule. I cannot ask anyone who is poor and who is a beggar. So the point is the demigods, they they want to give to devotees. And what Prabhupada says is the son of King Uttanapada was already known throughout the universe as a great devotee, constantly thinking of lotus feet. Such a pure, uncontaminated devotee of Lord is worthy to have all the benedictions that can be offered to the demigods. He does not have to worship the demigods separately for such benedictions. Kuvera is the treasure of demigods and is personally offering whatever benediction Dhruva would like to have. Billamangal Thakur stated, therefore, that for persons who engage in devotion service, all material benedictions wait like maid servants. Mukti Devi is just waiting at the door of a devotee to offer liberation. Or more than that, at any time, to be a devotee is therefore an exalted position. Simply by rendering transcendental loving service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one can have all benedictions. Kuvera said Dhruva that he had heard that Dhruva is always in Samadhi. In other words, Dhruva Maharaj, there was nothing desirable within the three modes. Dhruva would ask for nothing, but he remembered the lotus sweet, but to remember the lotus sweet. So Dhruva, what Dhruva says, he says, no, nothing. He don't want anything from demigods. They are also beggars only. They are asking from the Supreme Lord. My dear Vidra, when thus asked to accept the benedictions from Kuvera, the king of Iksha, Dhruva Maharaj, the most exalted pure devotee, who was an intelligent and thoughtful king, begged that he may have unflinching faith in and remembrance of Supreme Lord. But thus a person can cross over the ocean of nations easily, although it is very difficult for others to cross. Prabhupada writing, according to the opinion of expert followers of Vedic rites, there are different types of benedictions in terms of religiosity, economic development, sanskar education, liberation, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. This is called Chaturvargas. And of all the Chaturvargas, the benediction of liberation is considered highest. To be enabled to cross over the material nations is known as highest Purushartha. But Dhruva Maharaj wanted a benediction which surpasses even the highest Purushartha. That is the point. He don't want dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Bhagavatam does not encourage dharma, artha, kama, moksha. This stage of life is called Panchama Purushartha. When a devotee comes to the platform of Pancham Purushartha, simply engage in devotional service. That is what we all need. Prabhupada Saraswati has stated in this connection that for a devotee, liberation is hellish. Kaivalyam narakayate. Tirdasa akasha pushpayate. As for the sense gratification is available in higher planetary systems, it is will o' the wisp, having no value in life. And the senses are compared to serpents, but for a devotee, the serpent's poison tooths are broken. Thus, Srila Prabhupada Saraswati has analyzed all kinds of benedictions available in this world, and he has clearly declared that for a pure devotee, they are all of no significance. Dhruva Maharaj was also Mahabhagavata, a first class devotee. Unless one is very intelligent, one cannot take to devotional service. So we are all intelligent. Naturally, anyone who is a first class devotee must be a first class intelligent person also. Yeah. So we can also say that we are intelligent, we are taking to bhakti. Now, very important, Kuvera, the treasurer of demigods, whose only business is to supply immense riches to person within the material world, is described as the king of kings because unless one is blessed by Kumera, one cannot become a king. The kings of kings personally offered Dhruva any amount of riches, but he declined to accept. He said, no, I don't take. This time, Supreme Lord comes as Indra to Ambarish Maharaj. He disguises him as Indra, and he turns Garuda into Airavata, and he comes there and asks, "You want any benediction?" And Ambarish Maharaj says, "Get lost from here. Who are you? I don't want anything to do with you." And then the Lord again appears as he converts himself into Lord. Oh, my dear Lord, it is you. Okay, I can take anything from you, but that person I will not take anything. So they are very chaste. And the son of Idavida, Lord Kuvera, was very pleased and happily he gave Dhruva Maharaj the benediction he wanted. Therefore, he disappeared from Dhruva Maharaj's penance and Dhruva Maharaj returned to his capital. So benedictions, it is a wish the demigods can fulfill in the term that if they also desire, Supreme Lord fulfills. Because it's not them who are actually doing anything. Say if I go to Kuvera and say, I want to have a mansion in, Beverly Hills. I don't want, but then Kuvera says, okay, I wish I will grant you. Then what happens? Then the Supreme Lord fulfills the desire of the demigod. And in that way, the desire of the living entity is fulfilled. It is not the demigod who can do it. Whatever demigod desires, the Supreme Lord fulfills them. So in that way, the demigods, when we worship demigods, our desires are fulfilled. Krishna is very clearly telling that, no, Mami Maye. So it is he who is giving the demigods the whatever benediction. So here Kuvera says, okay, you want that because you come to me. I say, okay, granted. Now, Kuber may not know what it is, but he can grant it because ultimately it is Krishna who is going to give. So, not a problem. And then Dhruva Maharaj returned to his capital. Kuvera, who is known as son of Vidavida, was very pleased with Dhruva Maharaj because he did not ask him for anything materially enjoyable. Kuvera is one of the demigods. So, one may put forward the argument, why did Dhruva Maharaj take a benediction from a demigod? The answer is that for a Vaishnava, there is no objection for taking benediction from a demigod if it is favorable for advancing in Krishna consciousness. Gopis worshipped Katyayani, but only benediction they wanted from the goddesses was to have Krishna as their husband. The Vaishnava is not interested in asking any benediction from demigods, nor is interested in asking benedictions from the Supreme. It is he just want to serve. It is said Bhagavatam that liberation can be offered by Supreme, but even if a pure devotee is offered liberation, he refuses to accept. So Dhruva did not ask Kuvera for transference to the spiritual world. He simply asked that he would remain wherever in the spiritual and material world, he would always remember the Supreme Lord. A Vaishnava is always respectful to everyone. So when Kuvera offered him a benediction, he did not refuse it, but he wanted something which would be favorable for his advance. So that's all. So can Kuvera give? Yes, Kuvera can give because whatever Kuvera desires, Supreme Lord fulfills. So in that way, Kuvera can give, not directly. Right. And he says that as long as he remained at home, Dhruva Maharaj performed many great sacrificial ceremonies in order to please the enjoyer of all sacrifices, the Supreme Lord. Prescribed ceremonial sacrifices are especially meant to please the Lord, who is objective of all such sacrifices, who awards the resultant benedictions. Yajnartha karmano anyatra lokoyankaram. If you don't do yajna, we get entangled. It should be very clearly understood. One should act or work only in order to please the Supreme Lord. Any activity which you have done whole day, which is not consciously thought for the Supreme Lord, you get reaction. We have to be conscious that, okay, for the Lord. Yajna Sishtamrita Bhujo Yanti Brahma Sanatana. Krishna says that Sarve Etat Yajna Vido Yajna Kshipata Kalmasha. Is we should know what we are doing to get the result of it. That is the point. So here we have to, when we are working, it should be known why we are doing that activity. So according to the four divisions of Varna Ashrama, Kshatriya Vaishya are especially advised to perform great sacrificial okay, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas. Will sacrifice to distribute their accumulated money very liberally. Dhruva Maharaj, as a king and ideal Kshatriya, performed many such sacrifices, giving very liberally in charity. And Prabhupada, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas are supposed to earn their money and accumulate great riches. Sometimes they do it by acting sinfully. Tomorrow on, I will add some more points on this Kshatriya Vaishya. This is a very nice topic. Are meant to rule over a country. Dhruva Maharaj, for example, in course of ruling, had to fight and kill many yakshas. Such action is necessary for Kshatriya. Kshatriya should not be coward and he should not be non-violent to rule over the country. He has to act violently. So this is very important. Kshatriya should act violently in order to make the whole country free from violence. And Prabhupada is setting a very high standard. He says Kshatriyas and Vaishyas are therefore especially advised to give in charity at least 50% of their accumulated wealth. So very good. We are not as Kshatriyas nor Vaishyas because we work for salaries. So we are Shudras, so we need not give 50%. Yeah, that is correct also. This rule of giving 50% is applicable to Kshatriyas and Vaishyas only. Why it is for Kshatriyas and Vaishyas? Because in previous ages, the Shudras are not given money. They are only given some charity. Charity means if they work, they get in terms of goods, they get rice and all. Why they are not given money? Because if Shudras are given money, if the Shudras are given money, they end up in doing sense gratification. And that's actually what is happening nowadays. All these software companies and all, uh, the people who are working are actually Shudras. And now once they get big money, what they do? They do sense gratification. That's why in this all these corporate areas we find so many alcohol pubs and brothels, these that all these very sophisticated one, all these things. And why? Because the Shudras are paid, and because of their getting payment, they end up in doing all this nonsense and damaging themselves and damaging the society also. That is another problem. And that's why the instruction that 50% is applicable to Kshatriyas and Vaishyas only. So in Bhagavad Gita, it is recommended that even though one enters the renounced of life, he still cannot give up the performance of yajna, dana, and tapa. They are never to be given up. Yajna, dana, tapschaiva, pavanani manishinaha. They purify. Tapasya is meant for the renounced order of life. Those who are retired from worldly activities should perform tapasya, penance and austerities. Those who are in material world, Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, they should give charity. So tapa is for who are retired. And dana and yajna is for, sorry, dana is for Kshatriyas and Vaishyas, and yajna is for the Brahmanas, so brahmacharis. Brahmacharis should do yajna. Now what yajna we do? Sankirtana yajna we do. Uh, Chanting the holy name and distributing the holy name. And Vaishyas, they should give charity, Vaishyas and Kshatriyas, and once you retire, then we do tapasya. So Maharaj Dhruva, as an ideal king, practically emptied his treasury by giving charity. See how much he gave charity. A king is not meant simply to realize tax on the citizens and accumulate wealth to spend in sense gratification. Old monarchy has failed ever since kings began to satisfy their personal senses with the taxes accumulated from the citizens. So that's where the corruption started, and we got the most famous French Revolution, which is the beginning of all the degradation that happened in the modern world. So modern world degradation started from French Revolution. People don't agree. It's a politically wrong statement. They say that all the changes and the advance, the society and everything came from French Revolution. But according to us, it is the opposite. That it caused the degradation. Before that is also there, but that was like peak, that is like starting of all sorts of philosophies. Because you removed the monarchical rule, so which is very dangerous. The politicians have very little. Uh, of course, whether the system is monarchy or democracy, the same corruption is still going on. At the present moment, there are different parties in the democratic government, and everyone is busy trying to keep his post or trying to keep his political party in power. The politicians are very little time to think of welfare of citizens whom they oppress with heavy taxes in the form of income tax, sales tax, and many other tax. Now government has compiled everything and made one GST. This tax is there. Now people sometimes have 80 to 90% of their income taken away, and these taxes are lavishly spent where the high salary is drawn with officers and rulers. So this happens in some countries like this. So formally tracks the tax accumulated from citizens was spent for performing great sacrifice as enjoyed in the Vedic literature. At the present moment, however, almost all forms of sacrifice are not at all possible. Therefore, it is recommended in Shastra that people should perform Sankirtan Yajna. Any householder, regardless of his position, can perform the Sankirtan Yajna without expenditure. All this, all the family members can sit down together and simply clap their hands and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Edine grihete bhajana deki grihete golokabaya. Somehow or other, everyone can engage in performing such an yajna and distribute prasadam to the people in general. That is sufficient for this age of Kali. Do kirtan and distribute prasadam. The Krishna consciousness movement is based on this principle. Chant Hare Krishna and at every moment as much as possible, both inside and outside of temple, as much as possible distribute prasadam. Chant and distribute prasadam. This process can be accelerated with the cooperation of state administration who are producing country's wealth. So Prabhupada, when Chicago police commissioner comes to meet Prabhupada, because in that Time magazine it is written about the crime. And Prabhupada says that I have solution for all the problems. If you want to stop crime in Chicago, what you have to do, just distribute prasadam and do harinam. That's all. Of course, the police commissioner did not take that advice, unfortunately. But that is actually solution. Prabhupada is very clear. Generally, in all the material sacrifices recommended in the Vedic literatures, there are offerings to the demigods. This demigod worship is especially meant for less intelligent men. Actually, the result of such sacrifices goes to the supreme personality of Godhead. Actually, Lord is called Sarvanama. Sarvanama means what? All the names belongs to him. So when we are doing yajna and when we are doing swahakara, idam swaha, no, naivet, swaha, indraya swaha, yavnaya swaha, aranaya swaha, it actually is Supreme Lord only. Why? Because he is called Sarvanama. That means this name, Indra is also Supreme Lord's name only. Yes, every name is his name only. That's why we can do only Krishna. One time, when Brahmana was devotee of Narsingadev, suddenly one person comes to him, is a demoniac person, and he says that, see, I worship my Lord Shiva, Shivalinga is there, but somehow I am not able to worship now. Now you worship him today. The Brahmana says, no, 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 I cannot worship. I only worship Narsingadev. Then that person said, if you don't worship, I am going to cut your head. So what he does, he went to the Shivalinga and he said, I only worship Narsingadev. So he started offering prayers to Narsingadev only, started chanting Narsingadev mantras. So when this person from outside saw that this fellow is cheating, he is not worshipping Shiva, is worshipping Narsingadev. So immediately he took his sword and he wanted to cut the head of a Brahmana. As soon as he was supposed to do, then the Shivalinga broke, and from that Narsingadev came and he killed this person. Now, the point here is Lord is can be worshipped everywhere and is Sarvanama also. All the names belong to him, all the places belongs to him. So not a problem. We can continue to do our pure devotional service in that situation also. Generally, in all material sacrifices recommended in Vedic literature, there are offerings to demigods. I'm sorry, actually there is some problem with signal. So generally, in Vedic literature, there is offerings to demigods. This demigod worship is especially meant for less intelligent men. Actually, the result of such sacrifices goes to the Supreme Lord only. Bhaktaram yajna tapasam. So I am the enjoyer of all the yajnas and tapasyas. Although Guru Maharaj is a great devotee and had nothing to do with these sacrifices, to set an example to To his people, he performed many sacrifices and gave all his wealth in charity. For as long as he lived as a householder, he never spent a farthing for his sense gratification. You see, what a important example. This word karma phala prasada, pradam, is very significant. Lord awards everyone different kinds of karma as the individual living entity desires. He is the super soul within the heart. Is so kind and liberal that he gives everyone full facilities to perform whatever one uh, whether acts one wants. So Lord is very liberal. He's giving that. Then the result of the action is also enjoyed by the living entity. If anyone wants to enjoy or laud it over material nature, the Lord gives him full facilities. But he becomes entangled in the resultant reactions. The Lord gives permission, but we have to pay also. That is a problem. And next shloka says, Dhruva Maharaj rendered devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, the reservoir of everything, with unrelenting force while carrying out his devotional service to the Lord. He could see that everything is situated in him only and that he is situated in all living entities. The Lord is called Achyuta because he never fails in his prime duty to give protection to his devotees. That's why our Gotra is Achyuta Gotra. Whenever we go to temple, anybody is doing puja. If they ask our Gotra, we should all tell Achyuta Gotra. Lord, who is infallible, who never fails in protecting his devotees. That's it. Not only did Dromara perform many sacrifices, but he carried on his transcendental occupation of engagement in devotional service. Prabhupada, the ordinary karmis who want to enjoy the results of Prithvi activities are concerned only with sacrifices and rituals as enjoyed in Vedic Shastras. Although Dhruva Maharaj performed in order to be an exemplary king, he was constantly engaged in devotional service. So this is the specialty of Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj can see that Lord is situated in everyone's heart. Ishvara Sarva Bhutana. Ordinary persons cannot understand how the Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, but a devotee can actually see him. Not only can a devotee see him outwardly, but he can see this with spiritual vision. So he sees everything others sees, but instead of seeing merely the tree, the mountain, the cities, he sees only his worshipable Supreme Lord. This is Mahabhagavatam. स्थावर जंगम देखी ना देखी तार स्फूर्ति सर्वत्र होए निज इष्ट देव स्फूर्ति. So wherever I see the Supreme Lord. In summary, a Mahabhagavata, highly elevated pure devotee, sees the Lord everywhere as well as within the heart of everyone. This is possible for devotees who have developed elevated devotional service to the Lord, as stated in Brahma Samhita. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochane. So, next shloka. Tvameva Shila Sampannam Brahmanyam Dinavatsalam Gopataram Dharma Setunam Menire Pitaram Praja. Dhruva Maharaj was endowed with all godly qualities. He was very respectful to the devotees of the Supreme Lord and very kind to the poor and innocent, and he protected religious principles. With all these qualifications, he was considered to be the direct father of all the citizens. That means he was able to personally give time, which is a very special thing. That should require all these empowerments, otherwise not possible normally. The personal quality of Dhruva Maharaj are described herein are the exemplary quality of saintly king. Not only a king, but also leader of modern democracy or impersonal government must be qualified with all these godly characteristics. then the citizens of state can be happy. It is clearly stated here that citizens thought of Dhruv Maharaj as their father, as a child, depending on the able father is completely satisfied. So the citizens of the state, being protected by the state of the king, should remain satisfied in every respect. This is very nice. Tomorrow I thought I will elaborate on this protection and safety. There are a few points I wanted to share, and we'll just take this purport. One word is very significant in this connection. Dhruv Maharaj, Brahmanyam, is very devoted to Brahmanas who are engaged in studying Vedas. He's always busy propagating Krishna consciousness. So there are many such very systematically arranged. The administration simply sits in the administrative post and say no to every request as if they are paid to say no to citizens. Here, proper time also, proper had very bad experience with all this management. Another word, Dheena Vatsalam, is very significant. The state head should be very kind to the innocent. Unfortunately, in this age, the state agents and the presidents draw good salaries from the state and they pose themselves as very pious people. Guru Maharaj ruled over this planet for 30. I'm sorry, there is some problem with internet. So, any questions, comments, or we'll continue tomorrow? Okay, thank you all very much. We will end here today. We are 10 minutes before time. So we'll send Dhruv Maharaj to spiritual world tomorrow. Today we started. So at least 2 days will take. At least it will take 2-3 days to send him to spiritual world. Maybe this whole week will take for us. And yeah, so we have one more week, and then after that, next week is also there where descendant of Dhruv Maharaj. Yeah, that's not a big. It's a big chapter, but we can complete. Okay. Uh, yes. Yes. Gaurangi Gopinath.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Dandavat pranams to you.
Dandavat pranams.
Prabhu, I just wanted to ask that you were telling in the class that we should, wherever we go, we should say that we are from Achyuta Gotra. But what about the Gotras that we have, clan that we have come? Should we tell that or not, Prabhu? Because as of course, as Brahmanas, we have our own clan that which we are coming, and which we use that for all our pujas or whatever ceremonies that we do at home. But even when we are doing archana in the temple, we say we are from so and so gotra and uh, get the puja done. So uh, I was thinking that only those who don't have gotras should say Achyuta Gotra or Shiva Gotra, like that. So, but I just want proper clarity that should we say our Gotra or only we should say Achyuta Gotra, because now we are connected to our Gaudiya Parampara.
Yeah, Prabhupada told to tell Achyuta Gotra, so it is always applicable. Of course, we are connected to certain descendants, that is there, but more important is now we want to be connected to Krishna, so we can say Achyuta Gotra only.
Okay. Okay, Prabhu. So it doesn't matter actually, isn't it?
Actually, what happens is that uh, uh, when we are doing any puja and all these things, it's a registration. Like you registered that I did for you. So that's why the Gotra is chanted. So Jambu Deepe Bharta, Bharta Kande, Mero Dikshinu Digbage. Then this is the place and this is the time, this is the thing. Like you register before doing Like you have given something to the king or something, they write
Okay.
it down. Okay, this person gave this to you, this person say. So it's a registration. So
Okay.
basically, this sankalpa is to register that you have done this activity. So before doing the activity is a registration, and it is registered in the you know no sphere whatever, that you have performed this yajna for the pleasure of Lord. So ultimately, the ritual that is performed afterwards, that is the most important point. That means Archana is what? On your behalf, the priest is chanting these many names of Lord, and he's offering some fruits, flowers, and all. It's all on your name he is doing. So basically, you cannot directly approach the Lord. The Brahmana, the priest, is doing on your behalf. So he chants the mantra Sankalpa and say so and so person is doing, and on his behalf I am doing. So that's how the procedure is. So, but even if you don't say also, Lord, I did, you do it, he will accept it. So that's what we want. Ultimately, we want to please the Lord, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
So
So,
the point is that you are like every day in your house also, you don't say Sankalpa when you are doing service to the deities, right?
yes, I want to ask you that also, because we don't we only take the permission of the guru and say that we are going to do this arti or we're going to offer food through you, like that. But sometimes, no, Prabhu, when we are they say, I don't know, I'm just so confused, like, because all these years, so many 30 years we have just done Krishna, we are just doing it for you, like that. But they say when we are offering fruits to somebody, like, if our Guru Maharaj is not well, we take a sankalpa that whatever fruits that I am going to acquire, I'm going to give it to my Guru. Or um, that whatever is Ekadasi Phalam, I'm going to do Ekadasi, so please bless me. Should we take Sankalpa every time we're doing some austerity? I
Sankalpa
was
basically
I
means
was
we should be.
reading, we were just hearing a class. Sorry, Prabhu, to interrupt you. I want to finish it. We were hearing a class. There is a Sankalpa itself to even chant the holy name, it seems, that every day, it helps you. And there is another term called Vikalpa also. So I don't want to waste your time. But if you have time, if you can send me a voice message, I will message you personally. But that's what I just want to ask. Should we every time take a sankalpa to do any austerity or any service for the Lord?
Sankalpa basically is to help become conscious of the activity what we are doing. So
Okay.
that is the point. Why is Sankalpa? Generally in Sankalpa, then they make you when you are doing yajna, then they will do Sankalpa and they will tie a thread to your hand, with a mango leaf and all, kankadam they call. So these things are meant to be conscious. They say now till the yajna is over, you cannot do anything. You just sit and perform the yajna. This kankana is tied to you, and you cannot sit and do any material activities. Only focus. So basically, sankalpa helps us to focus, be conscious. So now when we are taking prasadam, then we chant Mahaprasade Govinde. So why? To become conscious about the activity. That's what I was telling. So Krishna also tells, if you don't know why you are doing, you don't get much benefit out of it. But if you know why you are doing, and when you do the activity, you get maximum benefit. So यज्ञ क्षिपत kalmasha sarve hi etat yajna vido. So in that Krishna is telling know what you are doing. So that is actually to be conscious. So when you are sitting and chanting, before chanting you say, my dear Lord, for your pleasure. That one word is also a sankalpa only. I want to chant for your pleasure. That's also sankalpa only. So we are that is be conscious, and then you chant, you get benefited. So so not a problem. I mean, that's actually important also. So Sankalpa is not that you are chanting some elaborate mantras and all. Just say, Lord, my dear Lord, I am sitting for chanting now. I'll chant for your pleasure. That's all. You get full benefit.
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, and I want to ask, I'm sorry if I'm taking your time.
No, no,
Last
no.
question. When we are
Uh,
taking Sankalpa and we are doing one activity, but we are not giving our 100% to it, but still we are getting deviated here and there, is it an offense?
no, See, any inattention is offense. All offenses are because of inattention only.
No, but we are
Whether
taking
you
an
take
oath.
sankalpa, don't
Uh,
sankalpa, you are inattentive, it is offense only.
yeah, Prabhu, but consciously you're taking an oath. I'm going to do this for
Sankalpa
you,
will at
Lord.
least help you to become little more conscious.
So okay. Okay, Prabhu, I understood. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Any activity is causing inattention causes at least sankalpa, at least for that time we will be conscious, so it will not be a problem. So we are at that time we are conscious, so it will benefit us at least
Ah,
that few minutes. So every day we are taking sankalpa for your Lord, and
ah,
that is going to help.
okay.
Yeah,
It will help us to concentrate more and give
yeah,
quality meditation.
yeah. And even if see inattention, even if you take sankalpa, no sankalpa, inattention is causing offenses. So at
Yeah,
least
that
sankalpa
is
will
there.
help you to be conscious for some time,
Okay. Okay, Prabhu.
like that.
I'll message you personally, Prabhu, about Vikalpa and all the other things.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So there is one question, Chan. For those not initiated, what's to be done about Gotra? Yeah, they are also Achyut Gotra only. Even if they are not initiated, they are also Achyut Gotra. Okay, thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna.